It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and it's Walkabout Wednesday in my mid-October Southern California succulent garden. Woo hoo. Wow. Oh, what a fabulous time. This has got to be my favorite time in the garden. I think even more so than spring. Oh, I love fall. Look at these gutters. These Morganianum, the burro's tail that I plopped in here as a cutting, I can feel it starting to root, and you can see the new fat growth at the bottom of the plant. Still looking a little stressed up here, the old stuff. I have a feeling, I mean, look at the new. Look at the new. How interesting. I think that these are going to fluff out too if we just give them a hot minute. The string of pearls is also starting to pop. Look at this milii. This was in the ground over where my gayei is now. Look at the whale's tail hand, that crest. It's spectacular. It is so happy since I took it out of the ground and put it in this pot and stuck it in the corner. It is just absolutely stunning. My other euphorbias, look at that. So pretty. I have a feeling this guy may lose his leaves in the wintertime. But man, is he loving life right now, or what? A follower gave me that plant, and I am in love because it reminds me so much of Aeonium sunburst, but more like Aeonium sunburst on crack, right? My Trigona rubra, happy as a clam. And this little cornucopia that I did for the DIY show, for that PBS show in Los Angeles, which is due to air on Things Green with Nick Federoff in just a couple of weeks. It's just cuttings and still just looks as good as when I planted it. My Pilosoceras azuris, gorgeous. My little collectible table is thriving. I mean, just take a look at this gorgeous little cactus. That color is pretty much impossible, isn't it? Just so pretty. This is such a fun little corner to watch the little gasteria, to watch things grow. My little falcata here, this, is spent. The blooms are completely done, so I'm going to trim those off. And that's already way better. And even my little Aluaudia procera. Look at that. How happy it is in this container. This was actually given to me by Deborah Lee Baldwin years and years ago. Remember that now. And remember just a couple months ago, I beheaded and reset a lot of the things in this Bougainvillea pot. Just look at how happy they are now. Man, this is, what is this? Arctic frost, I think. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And then over here, here's my gayei. It has officially thrown off another branch, not just teasing us. It's actually done it. Love that. And, we talked about how I'm going to need to make decisions about this Hercules at some point, or Goliath, sorry. It's just so massive. It's not getting smaller. I don't know what to do. And then behind it, I've got a giant Agave attenuata. I mean, it's just massive. And then in between is a big, 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 I think it's aloe Eric the Red. I'm pretty sure. Not a Cameronii. I think that's my Eric the Red that I used to have in a pot. We'll know in the spring when it blooms for sure. And I've been doing some videos the last couple of days from my garden. Now that the weather has officially cooled down and the days are shorter, I'm starting to tear into some things. And I'm seeing here, there's some areas that are a little run-amucky, like where this rubra is. I can see dirt there. That's bugging me. And my Fred Ives definitely need to be beaten into submission. Look at how this stand is falling over onto the sidewalk. This is getting out of control, and it needs to be dealt with. I've got a lot of Fred Ives. I know, a lot of Fred Ives. I have too many Fred Ives. So I will be making some edits and moving these around, maybe gifting them to clients too. Then around the pond, Greg still hasn't had time to replace the pump, unfortunately, but the bees are really, really enjoying the water. So I know we shouldn't have standing water because of mosquitoes, but I do like to feed the wildlife. So we're going to get that handled, I promise you. The Bougainvillea Wall looks beautiful. Remember, my goal over here was to plant things that would grow up, and then the Bougainvillea would kind of come down and they'd meet in the middle. And I have not achieved my goal yet, but I feel like I'm definitely on the path. Everything is doing what I want it to do. It's just a little bit of a hot mess with detritus. Now that I'm in here, I can see that I've got to come out and spend an hour or so cleaning stuff up. I also wanted to point out, and I've pointed it out before, I have this aloe. I think it's a dahlia, and it's really pretty, and it's throwing off a beautiful bloom. And then just about 6 feet over, I have another dahlia that is not so beautiful, because this cutting, I just laid it on the ground and it hasn't rooted. So this poor thing has just been relying on what it has in its leaves and stems for support. So it's got a lot of dieback, and the color, is really pretty. I like that color. So what I'm going to do is cut this all off. I'm just going to trim this and reset it. I don't need this height here anymore. So that'll be on my to-do list. I've got a ton of little alyssum coming up. This is a winter grower. Gets those cute little purple and white flowers. This is coming up with a vengeance already. And even my portulacaria, I got the upright out of sheer and unprecedented desperation. I don't like Hannah thinks it's cool, but I don't like the floppy moppy.
I like it.
I don't like that. I don't know. I'll let it ride since Hannah likes it, but we'll see. And my Crassula Argentia is going to bloom. We're going to have a lot of flowers this late fall, which is really early for this plant, but hey, I'll take it. My topsy-turvy, the plants are looking great. The pots, not so much. I guess we call that patina, shabby chic. Gosh, I don't know. I think maybe this spring I might repaint the pots. I can only take so much shabby, and then it starts to get a little bit depressing. But there we've got our shell planter. I just recently, with you guys, did a reset of that. And let's see if the superbum has thrown off any roots. Oh yeah. Look at all those roots. So this is on its way. That's exciting. I'll pop him back in, or her. Very nice, very nice, very nice. And you know that yesterday I pulled all the, was it?
We're posting this today. So.
Yeah, and we did it yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I pulled all the pups off of the quadricolor. Some of you asked me how many pups I pulled off. I have no idea. Too many. I think I answered one person. And you also let me know that I still had some pups. I see it now. Here's one. Ooh, that felt amazing. That just came out in one pull. How cool is that? My Agave Varagata is getting ready to unfurl another leaf. And a few years, or I guess it was actually during pandemic lockdown, right? So it would have been last year in the early spring. I cut this and reset it because it was pointing the wrong direction. And she hasn't given me any more babies, so I'm holding my breath. I'm praying that she gives me more pups. I don't want that to bloom out without progeny. And then, you know how I was so excited this spring and summer because the wisteria decided to grow over the fountain and offer its shade? That was really awesome. But now what's happening is it's dropping all of its leaves into the fountain, which is a pain in the butt. So, 6 of one, half dozen of another. Now I have to come out here every day and pull wisteria leaves out. But I guess that's a fair trade-off because this really did hold up a lot better this year with the protection from the wisteria, and it looked really amazing too. Let's go take a peek at that aloe in the corner that was like 98% dead. See if it's June. Oh yeah. Awesome. So the branches that still had heads that were still somewhat alive are looking more alive. And then I'm getting more branching here. After I made cuts and cut out the dead wood, I'm getting new branches. So and here's one here. I think that in time, this is just going to take on a whole nother shape and become a really, really interesting plant. My roses are pretty much finished for the year. This pine tree over in the open space is becoming the bane of my existence and dropping needles all over my yard. But again, what are you going to do? I'll just do my best to keep up with it. This Kalanchoe orgialis is on something right now. Look at how gigantic those leaves are. This is an example of the right plant in the right spot. This gets dappled sun only all day long. And look what a happy plant that is. So if you've got a Kalanchoe orgialis or copper spoons that is struggling, I suggest moving it to a shadier location. All right, what else? Oh my gosh, honestly, I could spend probably 8 hours out here just picking up detritus. But I know you all can relate. So here you go. It's late in the afternoon right now. The sun is setting, so you can see that my tapestry, my raised bed, gets hit with the most sun at the latest part of the day, which is why this Aeonium sunburst crest didn't die in the summer. And it's starting to wake up and open up and just give me quite the show. I'm so happy with that. This is also spider web season, isn't it? So, you know, tolerate what you can because spiders are garden friends, but get rid of the webbing that you just can't tolerate. You absolutely have my permission. Here's another falcata spent or finished bloom. Throw that in my bucket. And I wanted to check and see if my aloe plicatillus cutting had thrown off any roots. It's been in the ground for a couple of months. So let's see. Oh yeah, I saw a little pull. Ooh, looky there. Yes, roots. It has rooted, yay. I was a little concerned because this plant is slightly susceptible to rot too, but it didn't. It's thrown off roots. It is going to be fabulous. Really slow growing plant though, so I'm gonna have to be super patient with it. Okay. And look at my cactus. She's given birth to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 babies. How cool is that? So adorable. And this poor desiccated Morganianum has, I noticed earlier today, I came out and checked on it, it has also started to root. So you can see life in the tips of this plant. You can tell without even tugging on it that it's rooted, and it's going to start throwing off a lot of pretty new material. The California sunset, can you even? Gosh, oh, look at these. I adore this plant. This color is insane, isn't it? So, so pretty. I love my gutters. They just do not disappoint, ever. All year, they just do the most beautiful things.
And all you have to do is water them.
Yeah, I just slap a little water on it when I think about it. And I haven't always thought about it, so sometimes they get a little desiccated, but they just bounce back. It's all good. Wow. Oh, so pretty. My totem cactus, looking lively. My Perii truncata. This is an agave from Oasis that was a trial. It was I'm not sure what it's going to do, how big it's going to get. We'll just have to see. And my sun glow next to my blue glow, I am going to be moving this to a client. We're doing a project next week, and she is going to be the beneficiary of this plant because I can't grow these here. They're going to get too big. So I've decided that this old garbage can area that I've reinvented a couple times will just be not the garden of death, but a plant nursery where I will put really beautiful plants that I will nurture until they're ready to move on to another home. That makes me a foster mom, and I dig that. Dig that, dig that, dig that. So that's basically what's going on in the garden on this Wednesday in mid-October. Oh, another thing that I'm watching closely is this imbricata. This is a hen and chick, and it's supposed to throw off a bunch of pups, and it hasn't. I don't know what is happening. It's got this long stem and, you know, is not pupping, so I put it there because it gets a lot of protection. I thought that might be the answer. But it's just kind of sitting there, so we'll just have to keep our eye on that. I have not yet got my fertilizer for the lemon tree. I'm a horrible lemon tree mom. It is just the epitome of pouting. One of these days I will, and you will know it, because this will turn from yellow to green. I decided I really want to try to save this plant because we drink lemon water every single day. I use a lot of lemons, and they're like $1 a piece at the store. So I promise you, at some point I will be inspired to go and get the fertilizer that I need to bring this tree back to life. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with Walkabout Wednesday. It's so wonderful to share what's new and old and good and bad in my garden with you. Thank you for subscribing, for liking this video, and for visiting the shop and supporting us through your contributions and through your purchases. Remember that 25% of all proceeds from all of the sales in the shop this month are going to the Pink Fund in support of breast cancer awareness. Bye, guys.